or a ball-shaped object. Oh, thank you. Yes, Barbara, we're going to be doing a techno echo dancing today. Yes, remix by me. uh, okay, so you'll need a letter ball or an interesting object for your eyes to look at. Remember, that could be a rolled up pair of socks or something like that. And then 2 pencils, preferably something with letters or numbers on it for you to look at also. And then just remember for this class, because we work the visual vestibular system, it's okay if you start to feel tired eyes, dizzy or nauseous or itchy, watery eyes. But know that that means that you've met your edge and we don't want to go too far past your edge. So you can back off, close your eyes, take a break, and grab some water. Okay, let's get started. So I'll have you come back to a seated or standing grounded position here. Okay, let's just start with a few shoulder circle rolls. Just coming into your breath a bit more. Okay, we'll come to a still point. We'll, we'll close the eyes. And we'll start to feel that low belly breath. And let's maybe bring one hand to the low belly and one hand to the chest, just to really feel that low belly breath. And to see if we can keep that chest hand more still. And then just noticing, maybe starting with the outside of your body. So noticing if you can feel the clothes on your body, or maybe the temperature of the air around you. Maybe you can see some shadows with your eyes closed, or maybe the sun is in your eyes. So just kind of noticing all of these external factors. If you can feel your feet on the floor, or your sit bones and your back on the chair that you're seated on. And just noticing the sensations of all of those things. The air, the clothes, the chair, the ground, the sun. And then coming more internally inside of your body. And then mapping how that all feels for you. Maybe just noticing what parts of the inside of your body feel a little funky today. Maybe uncomfortable, sticky, painful. And then what parts feel tight, feel restricted, feel like you're holding on to something even though maybe you're trying to relax that part of your body. So just bringing your attention to those areas. And then lastly, bringing your attention to the areas of your body that feel good. That feel like you have an awareness, a sensation in those areas. Maybe they feel more warmed up or a bit looser. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. One more exhale. And we'll open the eyes. Okay, let's just start with some expanding, contracting. So we'll reach the arms out to your side like you're about to give someone a big hug. Now you give yourself a big hug. And I want you to really round forward today, like maybe trying to touch your nose to your knees. And just taking a breath in that position, kind of resting on your knees. And then you're going to open, you're going to get big, look up, stretch out through the wrists and the fingers. And then give yourself a hug and get small, resting on your thighs, or if you're standing, just coming down into a roll down. And then getting big, really stretching, reaching. Let everything shrug up and away. And then giving yourself a big hug. Let's just do that one more time. Big reach, shrug, lift, and look up. Take an inhale. And then one more time, give yourself a hug. Okay, good. All right, we'll come up to a seated position here. I just want you to find a few head tilts to the left and to the right. So try to keep your shoulders relaxed and down here. Just oscillating that head side to side. Okay, now I'm going to have you tilt your head to the right and reach your left arm down towards the ground. And I want you to flex your fingers out to the side. So pulling the wrist up, knuckles are facing up to the sky. And then you're going to add a shoulder shrug on that side. Keep your head tilted away from that shoulder. This shouldn't feel burny. If it starts to feel burny, go ahead and back off, take a break. Good, and then release out of that, shake the arm out. Okay, we're gonna do one more on that side. Tilt your head back to the right, pull your knuckles up, and then you're gonna reach that arm back behind you. And you're gonna find that same shoulder shrug up and down. Just doing some neck and shoulder releases here and a little bit of something we call nerve flossing. Good, and then relax, shake that arm out. Good, we'll tilt your head in the other direction towards your left. Bring your right arm down by your side. Pull your knuckles up, so knuckles facing up to the sky. Add the shoulder shrug up and down. Your elbow will be straight here the whole time. Nice, everybody. One more. And then release out of that, shake. Okay, and then last time, tilt your head. Flex that wrist up. Pull the arm back behind you and find that same shoulder shrug. Go for 3, 2, 1, and relax and down and shake that arm out. Okay, we're going to take hands behind the head if you're able to. Otherwise, don't worry about grabbing the head. Your arms can rest on by your side. And I'm kind of grabbing, so my thumb is at my jawline and my other 4 fingers are behind my head. And I'm basically just going to help my head. I'm going to assist my head with flexion here. So I'm going to tuck my chin into my throat as I look down. And my fingers are just really gently assisting me. They're helping me tuck my chin in. And they're helping me lengthen the back of my neck. And just oscillating there, looking forward and then assisting with that tuck down. Looking forward and assisting with that tuck down. And hopefully you're feeling a nice lengthening through the back of the neck. And then hopefully you're also feeling some engagement in the front of the neck. So now take your hands away and just do that same motion. I don't know if any of you played this game when you were a little kid, but where you had to like take an apple and put it between your neck and your chin, and then you would have somebody take the apple from you. Does anyone remember that game? It's probably not super COVID safe nowadays, but when you're doing this chin tuck, I want you to think of like you're squeezing a piece of fruit, you're squeezing a lemon. I want it to be really active. So we're using all of these deep neck flexors in the front of the neck. And when you're doing this, see if you can just maybe start to feel some abdominal engagement. This might be natural and reflexive for you, which is the goal, because the neck, these deep neck flexors connect to our deep core muscles. If this doesn't feel natural to you and you don't feel this connection, don't worry about it. But it's just something for you to play with. The neck muscles are a really good way to help tap into some of the deeper core muscles if you feel like that's a hard place for you to connect to. Okay, go ahead and relax. Let's bring both arms out in front of you. We'll just do some book openers before we get into some nervous system stuff. So let's take left arm. You're going to slide it down the right arm across the chest, opening the book to rotate behind you. Take an inhale. And then exhale back to the center. Okay, good. Opening the book on the other side. Drag down the arm across the chest and open. Lengthen your wingspan. And then back to the center. Yep. Open the book to rotate. Take an inhale. And exhale back to center. Open the book, rotate. Take an inhale, and then exhale back to center. I want you to do 3 extra book openers on the side that's harder for you to rotate towards. Whatever side feels more restricted, less range of motion, a bit tighter, I want you to do just a few extra book openers on that side. Maybe taking a moment to even take a couple of breaths into that fully rotated position. And challenging your eyes here. So what's the furthest thing behind you that you can see? Hopefully you can go a little bit more each time. Let's just do one more. And then back to the center. Good. We'll shake the arms out. Okay. We'll come to a little bit of face tapping. So last week we were working on those 8 points around the eye to help bring more blood flow to this whole eye area, eye orbit of the face. Today, let's just do some face tapping. So using the pads of your fingers or your knuckles, if that's easier. And I just want you tracing a few lines going down your jaw, across your cheekbone, and then up to your forehead. There really isn't any wrong way to do this, but it should feel good. If you get to a spot, like a sensitive spot, like your temples, maybe you're tapping a little bit too hard, or maybe skip that area. So just tapping in the areas that feel really good for you. Under the cheekbones is a really good place. We're tracing the outline of one of our main cranial nerves. And this nerve innervates the entire face. It's got branches going up, sideways, and downwards. And then finding some tapping above, right above your eyebrows. And then last time, right under your cheekbones. And we'll shake that out. I'm just noticing how you're feeling after that one. One can be a really have a really nice calming effect. Okay, we're going to take your earlobes, either grabbing or using your knuckles to grab, and we're going to start by pulling the earlobes down and back behind us. And hold there, and I want you to take 3 belly breaths as you hold this. Remember, you're only pulling your ears as much as you need to, where that your ears pull back at you. When you've done those 3 belly breaths, we'll grab the top parts of the ears and we're going to pull up and back behind you. And again, let's do 3 belly breaths here. Really trying to breathe down into the belly. Try to stay out of those chest breaths if you can. Okay, and relax. Good. Actually, I'll stay zoomed in here. Okay, let's do a little bit of tapping. But let's start. I'm going to have you take your hands or knuckles to your breastbone, to that center bone in your chest. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to mess up my mic if I do that. Okay, so find your breastbone. And again, using your fingers, knuckles, I want you to drag the tissue away, going from the center out to the side. So I want you to imagine like you were about to rip open your superhuman shirt right now. Okay, so that's the direction of traction I want your fingers to go, pulling your tissue from the center of your body out more to the outsides of your body. Yeah, this is a place that often gets restricted, whether you're in a chair or not. If you are on a computer, a phone, driving, this area can really get restricted. So just working your whole way down that breastbone and up the breastbone, pulling and tractioning that tissue out to the side. Maybe noticing if one side is more tender than the other. Okay, shake the hands out. Yeah, and I want you to, actually, let me back up here again. Okay, so bring the arms out at your side. Your thumbs are going to be pointing up. Pull your fingers back. Okay, so adding a little bit of a nerve floss there, and then pull your arms back behind you, pulling your chest forward. Good, and then just pull the arms forward, tap the heels of the palms together. Open, pull the wrists back, really actively pulling the wrist back. Hold the arms open like this. 3, 2, 1. Pull the arms forward, tap the heels of the palms together. Yeah, there we go. Nice, everybody. Open, wrist pull back, hold. 3, 2, 1, and forward. We're just gonna do this one more time. If any burning or tingling sets in, then you've gone a little bit too far. So maybe back off. Hold. 3, 2, 1, and then release that. Shake the arms out. Okay, good. Let's find a quick tap through the upper body. So we'll work our way going down the inside of the arm. And then coming back up the outside of the arm. We'll do that a few times through on both sides. You can give the hand a rub if you want. Just bringing your awareness and your attention to these areas you're tapping. When you've done that, go ahead and switch sides. Going down the inside and up the outside. Doing that a few times through. Good. Good. And let's bring a little bit more attention to the hands. So we'll bring the hands together, giving them a rub. And I want you to move the hands quickly if you can. Build up some heat and friction. Get the backs of the hands. Rubbing, rubbing, rubbing. Switching sides. Okay. And I'm going to give you a couple of options here. You're going to grab the palm of your, take one hand, grab the other palm of your other hand. If grabbing for you is hard, I just want you to take your knuckles and I want you to push into your open palm. So you're going to push, push, and release. For those of you grabbing that are able to grab your hand, you're going to squeeze that hand and then release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. And just do a few pumps, or not a few, do several pumps of that hand. You can even start to move your hand around and just notice where any tender areas are for you. Maybe it's closer to the pinky, maybe it's closer to the thumb. Can we do some compress and release out through our knuckles and fingers? Okay, give that hand a shake. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Maybe just starting on the main part of the hand, compressing, releasing. For some of you, this might be where you stay. If this is a really tender area for you and these bones, right where you're squeezing, don't like to be compressed, this is where you're going to stay. If that feels pretty malleable to you, like, okay, my hand is fine, this feels good, then you can start to move around to different areas like the thumb pad, the knuckles, and out through the fingers. As I've said before, there's 3 areas of our body that take up the most real estate in our sensory brain, the sensory part of our brain. It is our face, our hands, and our mouth. So giving some extra attention to these areas makes our brain happy. It brings more input into those areas. It can help with your proprioception. Okay, and then shake those areas out. Shake the hands out. Awesome. Okay, let's go right into some letter ball. Oh, we didn't do the lower body. Hang on, let's do a quick tapping of the lower body. Okay, do a few times through. Let's tap going down the outsides of the legs. Can give the feet a rub. And then coming up the insides of the legs. We'll do that a few times through. Noticing how the whole lower body is feeling. I've lost count. I think this is 3. Getting the tops of the legs. I like to jostle the tops of my legs as if I'm trying to wake them up. I heard somewhere, I don't know if this was massage school or somewhere else, that we hold our fears in our quads. Don't take my word for that. I don't know how accurate that is. But these are some big muscles of our body, whether you're using them or not. So
they say that in Chinese medicine.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I've heard it too. Absolutely.
Oh, cool. Oh, Chad, thanks for confirming that. So I probably did hear that at school.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. I got to look into that more. So give your thighs some love, everyone. Give your quads some love. Okay, let's grab your letter ball. If you've been playing with me for a while, let's go ahead and Just start with normal letter ball, either moving it or throwing it around your body. Getting all of the angles, saying the first letter number you see. If we've got any new folks here, I'm just going to talk you through how to play this one. So holding that ball into your chest, you're going to pull it away from you at any angle that you want. You'll quickly look at the ball. You'll say the first letter number you see, and then you'll pull it back in. Pull the ball away at a different angle around your body. Say the first letter number you see, pull it back in. And you're just going to continue to do that all around you. Try to hit every angle. If you're able to play catch and throw with yourself, you can do that too. Remember, the more unpredictable you make it, the more fun your brain is going to have. Making sure you do some of those moves or catches above your head. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit more of a brain game for this next one. So when you catch a letter, you're going to say, I'm going to leave it up to you. You can either do fruits or vegetables, and whatever letter you see, try to stay within that category of fruits and or vegetables. Okay, try to pick a different fruit or veggie each time. If you catch a number, I'm going to have you subtract 6. So if I catch a 1, I would say -5. -5 is the answer, right? I would say -5. If I catch a 7, I would say 1. Okay, so say the number when you subtract 6 from it. And you're trying to do that as quick as you can. You're holding the ball out in whatever position you're doing. Say the fruit, vegetable, or number, and then move it or throw it out to a different angle. Okay, go for it. Yeah, and for folks that are blind or visually impaired, I just want you to think of every time you move that ball or throw that ball around your body, think of a different vegetable or fruit. I know this sounds silly, but again, we're just challenging the brain with movement. So there's a lot of coordination involved. And for the numbers game, maybe alternating, you do a fruit and veggie every other one. And then every other one, you're subtracting 6 from 50. So start at 50, subtract 6, and work your way down. And you're alternating back and forth. Those 2 variations are just for folks that are blind or visually impaired. Everybody else, I want you to use the letter ball as the thing that's cueing you. And still making sure you're hitting all of the angles around you. Maybe do 5 or so more throws. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then once you've done those 5 or 6 more throws, keep holding on to that letter ball. And we're just going to do a little bit of vestibular work here. If anyone can think of a vegetable or a fruit that starts with the letter E, I got stuck on the letter E.
Eggplant.
Thank you.
Edamame.
There we go. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. I kept wanting to say elephant, but it was the wrong category. Okay. So we're going to hold that ball out in front of you. And I'm going to have you do 3 angles. Let's maybe, if you're able to hold it in your left hand, you're quickly going to rotate to the left and then you're going to come to the center. That ball is at the height of your shoulder. Okay. Now I'm going to rotate up into the left, back to the center. Now I'm going to rotate down into the left and back to the center. My nose and my eyes stay on that same letter or number each time. So I go rotating to the left at shoulder height, rotate up into the left, rotate down into the left, rotate center, rotate up and left, rotate down and left. Okay. If doing it that quickly makes you dizzy, then just slow your speed down. The faster you go, the harder this will be for your vestibular system. Remember though, it's okay if you get dizzy. It means you're challenging yourself. But just go ahead and take a break when you do. I want you to be able to see that letter the whole time. Don't take your eyes off of that letter number. That looks really good, everybody. We're doing something called VOR cancellation here. Okay, pause, switch hands. Same thing, other side. Rotate at shoulder height, rotate up and to the right, rotate down and to the right. Rotate at shoulder height, up and right, down and right. If you really want to challenge yourself, you could pick up the speed. If you need to slow down, you can slow down. Yeah, there we go. Nice, everybody. Maybe just do a couple more there. Yeah. And relax. Okay. Go ahead and drop that letter ball just for a moment here. I'm going to have you grab your pencils. We'll grab both pencils. Make sure these are right side up. And we're going to do the opposite. So just working more of the visual system. So head is going to stay steady. Let me back up so you can see me. Pencils are going to be out at shoulder height to the left and to the right. So your nose is going to stay pointing forward. Your eyes are going to dart back and forth from one letter to the next. And I want you to challenge your eye range of motion here. So how wide can your arms go where you don't have to move your head? Head should stay really steady. Just the eyes dart back and forth. Let's do 20 side side, 20 up down, 20 on one diagonal, 20 on the other diagonal. Move through this at your own pace. For folks that are blind or visually impaired, you're going to be doing the same thing, but we're going to be doing the VOR and your head is going to be moving. Okay, so you can hold that pencil out in front of you if you want. Otherwise, you're just going to be nodding your head yes for 20, shaking your head no for 20, doing one diagonal for 20, doing the other diagonal for 20. For all folks here, for those of you that are able to stand, if you want to do this one standing and either balance on one leg or find you're walking the tightrope, so one foot in front of the other, just to add a balance challenge, then you can do that too. No pressure. But sometimes giving your nervous system an extra challenge can actually can be more beneficial for you. Yeah, there we go. So no rush, but just working your way through 20 up, down, 20 side, side, and then 20 in both of the diagonal directions. And you're really challenging your eye range of motion or your neck range of motion here. So hold those pencils out where it's hard to see them. It should feel like your eyes are straining here. When you're done, so I know you're done, go ahead and set the pencils down and maybe just find a roll down to the ground. Yep. And then rolling yourself back up and just do a few more roll downs like that. And for folks that are still working your way through the pencils, just keep going. Rolling you down. And rolling back up. Okay. Yeah, really nice, everyone. Let's set the pencils down, and then we'll do a little bit more spinal mobility here. So I want you to bring both hands high on your waist. Yeah, if you can. Yeah, that works. We're gonna bring left arm up to the sky, and you're gonna reach up, 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 and then you're gonna start to find that teapot tip over, really reaching out. So how long and open can this left side get? Take an inhale into that side, and then exhale back to the center. Put that hand on your hip. Reach the other hand up, reach up, and then tip over. Take an inhale into those open ribs, and then an exhale to center. Yeah. So we're going to move really slowly through this. Hand reaches up, body tips over. Take an inhale or two into those open ribs. We've been playing with breath work the past couple of months. So I really want to see if you can feel your ribs moving with each inhale and each exhale. Yeah, tip over. Take one or two breaths here. And back to the center. Yeah. Feel free to move either slower or faster than me. I just want you to be able to feel your breath here. And then I want you to notice what side is harder for you to breathe in. And then I want you to do a few extra reps on that side. If you don't know what side is harder for you to breathe into, just continue doing both sides. And they usually go hand in hand. So the side that is harder for you to breathe into, it's probably also harder for you to find a side bend into. They don't always go hand in hand, but they typically do. Yeah, I'm just going to give one piece of advice here. For everybody tipping over, make sure that the side you're tipping to, don't let that shoulder creep up to the ear. Let that shoulder just stay relaxed. It doesn't have to be doing anything, it's just relaxed as the other side reaches up. Yeah, let's just maybe do one more here. Yeah, and back to the center. Okay. All right, let's bring hands just to the lap in front of us. And we're going to find our full hula hooping of our ribs around our pelvis. Trying to keep your shoulders and your ribs parallel with the floor. Yeah, so not tipping over, just hula hooping around. And switch directions. Mhm. Okay, and then I want you to come back to the center. And now you're going to find just a diagonal. You're going to shift the ribs forward and to the left, back and to the right. Forward, left, back and right. Forward and back. Just staying on that one diagonal. Okay, and we're going to add in some arm movements as you do this. So when you shift forward and to the left, oh shoot, have I been saying this right? I hope so. When you shift forward and to the left, you're going to reach kind of out and forward with that left hand. And then when you reach, when the ribs shift back and to the right, you're going to reach behind you, like someone's passing something into your hand behind you with that right arm. Shift forward, reach forward at the diagonal, shift back, reach back like someone's passing you a baton. You're trying to take the baton from them. Forward and back. Forward and back. And then can we start to look where we're reaching? So when we look behind you, when we shift behind you, I want you to look behind you, and then same thing forward. Look to where you're reaching. Okay, we're just going to do one more layer. I'm going to give you the breath here. Exhale to reach forward. Inhale to reach back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more each way. Exhale. Inhale, and then back to the center. Find a few shoulder circle rolls. Okay. Can we do the same thing going the other diagonal? Forward, right, back and left. Forward, right, back and left. And for those of you standing, you're doing the same thing we are, but notice that my hips are actually staying stacked over my feet, and I'm still just moving from my ribs. So we're trying to mobilize the whole thorax, the whole rib cage. We're also trying to mobilize your organs in here. Okay, can we add the reach? Reach at the diagonal forward, reach at the diagonal back. And can you look towards where you're reaching? Exhale forward, inhale back. Exhale, inhale. I'm challenging you with this breath. This is actually almost the opposite breath I would normally tell you to do, but I'm just challenging you with this breath here. Do a couple more. Good, and then we'll come back to the center. Awesome. Go ahead and take your arms, just do a few really big circles going backwards. Let your breath go. Good. And then let's just find our swinging arm rotation. Knuckles tap opposite low back. Okay. We'll come back to the center. We'll close the eyes. And then just noticing those same things we noticed at the beginning of class. So feeling the clothes on your body. The temperature of the air. Whatever surface you're seated or standing on. And then coming inside of your body. And noticing what feels different for you. So for those parts that felt restricted and tight, for the parts of you that maybe felt uncomfortable in the beginning of class, and for the parts of you that felt really good in the beginning of class, how has anything shifted for you throughout the class? Go ahead and think of one thing you're grateful for today. We'll take one more inhale, one more exhale, and we'll open the eyes. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'll stick around if folks have questions. Otherwise,